Half Moon Bay wants to change a big part of its coastal economy, and it's rushing to cash in on commercial pot. KPIX 5 reporter Len Ramirez says it's trying to revive part of the region's old economic engine. Len?
That's right. These greenhouses behind me were built when the flower industry was very strong here in Half Moon Bay. But over the years, that industry has gone to South America. And so you have a lot of these greenhouses that are either being torn down or unused. And so the city wants to repurpose them for possibly pot cultivation.
The greenhouses were designed to grow flowers, but soon something else could be budding all over Half Moon Bay: pot.
If you go with 70% of the population who voted, then they are not against cannabis. They're for it.
Vice Mayor Dr. Deborah Penrose says the City Council heard the voice of its voters who strongly supported Prop 64, which legalized marijuana for adults. Now she says it's time for the city to act and become a player in California's emerging pot industry.
If we're for it, we want to go for it and go for it now.
The city is putting together an ordinance that would allow Half Moon Bay landowners to repurpose greenhouses for cannabis cultivation. It would not allow for new greenhouses to be built specifically for pot, but could spark a comeback for the area's ag industry, which is down.
We host the Pumpkin Festival, and we have 4th of July parades.
But David Curry has mixed feelings. His family owns Kuna's Country Market, which has been a fixture on Main Street since 1900. He worries pot production could hurt the city's family-friendly tourist industry.
Such an idea might alter that image and discourage people from coming into town.
The city says tourism alone is not enough to sustain Half Moon Bay long term, and that pot production could help out-of-work farmers and laborers. As for image, this couple from Santa Rosa says pot isn't what it used to be.
Most people are okay with it now, and especially people who live around here. It's not, people aren't shocked anymore when you hear that somebody is smoking a joint.
Statewide, officials are still trying to come up with a licensing plan for commercial pot growing in California. But so far, Liz, in San Mateo County, Half Moon Bay is the only city that is coming out in support of a pot producing plan.
Now, Len, is the City Council also talking about allowing the sale of pot products in the stores on Main Street?
They're talking about it, but they acknowledge that it's going to take a lot more work to get an ordinance that would allow that, even though a large majority of people in Half Moon Bay support pot for adults. They supported Prop 64. They realize that that is a lot more controversial because of the possibility of kids coming into contact with it if it is on Main Street and stuff like that. So they're taking this one thing at a time. This would be first, then it would be the commercial pot sales.